Hello everyone and welcome to Follow the Steps. Today we're looking at reading steps that help to complete a reading comprehension. On the left are questions about the text and on the right is a leaflet. The first step is going to be an I. The second step is a book. These symbols help us later on. The third step is a basketball, or my attempt at drawing a basketball. The fourth step is a door. The fifth is, well, it's friends. And the final step is a clock showing 6 o'clock. So we're going to use these steps later on to answer a reading comprehension. So moving on, the first step is the I, scan the text. Here we're looking for organisational features in the text that help us answer those questions. The first thing is a logo. We're going to label that. Moving down, we have these pieces of information. Those are bold text, they stand out. In the bottom left corner, we have an image that helps to support all the writing. Image or photo. Also, there's images here, we're going to circle them. They also support the writing. These are subheadings. We're going to underline them and label them as well. As you see here, subheadings. There you go. In the corner, there's a logo, Citizens Advice. And at the top, there is bold text. Okay, there we go. We can now tick that. The second step, 2 books. Read the questions and instructions carefully. What's the purpose of the text? Ticks the correct answer. To offer financial advice to families, to inform families of support services, to provide free food and energy support, and to organise community events for elderly people. Okay. The second one is what best describes the language used in the document. You're going to tick again. Harmful, neutral, negative or positive. Why is bold text used in this leaflet? What kind of support can people get in a welcome place? Where can people find information about pension credit? In a document, what does debt mean? What best describes the presentation of the document? We're going to tick again. There are 4 options. And what does the photograph show? We can tick that now. The third and fourth step are together. There are 3 basketballs, circle, underline. 4 doors, keywords in the questions. Those keywords unlock the questions. So what purpose text? Tick, answer. What describes language used? Again, tick, answer. Why bold text used? What support people get? Welcome place. Next one. Where find information, pension credit. What debt mean? Number 7. What describes presentation, tick, answer again. And finally, what photograph show? Now those steps are so important because they help to find the important words in the questions. That helps to then find the answers, find our friends. So, we're thinking, is the purpose of text to offer financial advice to families? I don't think so, there's not much about that. But I believe it is to inform families of support services because there's lots of words that help us to understand that, like support and families is repeated throughout the document. So that's a possible answer. There's not much about providing free food and energy support. So we can say that isn't right either. And organised community services for elderly people? No, there's words like children and parents. So I can say it's to inform families of support services is the purpose of this. Now the language inside the document, it seems to me to be majority of the time, positive language. But let's just check. It's definitely not harmful. There's words like helpful and easy, but that's not neutral language. Words like great, warm and friendly, this indicates that most of the language is positive. So, we've got bold text down here we labelled before, we've got bold text at the top and down here. So it makes our eyes focus on it because this information stands out. So I believe the reason why it's used is to make some information stand out. So our eyes draw to this information as a reader. Okay. The fourth question is welcome place. We've underlined that over here in our scan. So I believe people to talk to. We've underlined that. I think that's the answer. Well, at least part of the answer. The fifth question is pension credit. Again, it's there. We've underlined that before. Here is the website. We're going to write that down. We've underlined that. www.gov.uk/pension credit. There could be some mistakes, but I'm going to check at the end. The sixth question requires a dictionary. Now this takes time, so I'm going to put a star next to it and come back to it later on. Now, the presentation of this document. Disorganised, strange, clear or confusing. Now most of this is so well organised, it's so easy on the eye, so it's clear. The last question says, what does the photograph show? It looks like a room to me, so I'm going to write that in. So, that is the end of finding the answers. Or is it? No, there's that star question. Here's my dictionary. As you see, it takes some time. I'm going to search for the word debt. As you see, it means something owed. ESP money. Okay, that's the definition. Debt is a noun. I'm going to carefully write that definition on that line. As you see here. Something owed ESP.money. Okay, so I found my answers. I found my friends. I'll take that off too. Last step is to check the answers at 6 o'clock. I've made mistakes, I know that, so now it's time to check them. I changed my pen colour first. Now, making sure the purpose of the text is to inform families of support services. I can be very sure of that. Okay. The next one is looking at the language used. It's positive. I know that because there are so many positive words in here. Warm and friendly. There is trusted. There is great. So I can be sure of that. Now, this next question, I think I need to add some more information. And I'm going to write because it's important. Okay. Now, the fourth is people to talk to. I think this answer's incomplete. And trusted advice. I'm going to circle that and add that to my answer. That's also support people can get at a welcome place. I missed that before. It's natural. I did it quite quickly. The next question, pension credit. I think I've spelt that wrong. Yep, I'm circling that and making sure the spelling's right. Cross it out. Actually, it's spelt PENSION dash CREDIT. That's better. Now, ESP, I'm going to change it to the actual spelling, especially ESPECIALLY. There we go. The next thing is the clear presentation. I'm sure of that. And I think that last question, it needs some more added. A room with a boy and man inside. Because that's actually what the photograph shows. Now I can tick that off. So following these steps help to understand the reading text better. So thanks for watching again, and goodbye.